Everyone's talking about AI, but who's actually implementing it? I'm Jenna Ahern, the CEO of Guardian Owl Digital, a search engine marketing firm rooted in integrity and transparency in the digital age. AI and marketing are at a crossroads, and the technology is moving faster than most business leaders can keep up with. That's why we created Go AI, a podcast series where we interview leaders in various industries about all things artificial intelligence. With each guest, my co-host Connor Rafferty and I will explore the applications that this rapidly evolving technology has for business leaders and their industries. Let's go AI. Welcome back to the Go AI podcast. We are thrilled for our next guest, Ataish Nehra, and he is an AI data scientist. Ataish, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Tell us a little bit about your journey to Louisville.
Okay, so a little bit of my background as well. I've been in AI and data science field for like 6 years now.
Okay.
And I've done like 2 degrees in it. Started off straight after my high school.
Oh, only 2 degrees? Okay.
Yes, unfortunately. And then I have like a global exposure because I've been working in India, Singapore, and then US finally. How I came to Louisville, that is a story in itself. But I would say just one thing led to another. And since I've been traveling to a lot of cities, I found that a place like Louisville, which has a lot of companies but very less amount of people in AI, would actually be a strong foundation for my career in AI, and I would learn a lot. And this podcast is a very new experience. I don't think I'll get this experience somewhere else. Landing here in Louisville is, I think, what's written in the stars for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so how did you get into AI? You mentioned you're from India. I know you had your master's then in Boston. You lived in Chicago, New York. Here you are in Louisville.
Yes.
Why AI?
Okay, so it was an undergrad, and I did my undergrad from India.
Okay.
And how it starts off is it was a 4-year degree, a Bachelor of Technology. So for the first year, for all the specializations, the subjects are same, the basic maths, chemistry subjects, engineering, graphics, and all. And from the second year, you start to choose your specialization, whether you want to go into cybersecurity, AI, something else, mechanical engineering, whatever. But I was a student of cybersecurity first. And then before my second year was starting, I realized I started to brush up on some topics. And I realized I had no clue about how hacking and hardcore coding in that field is to be done. I had no interest in that. And at that time, it was around 2018 when a news came out that data scientist is the hottest job of the century. And I was like, what is this? Luckily,
I'm interested.
Yes. Luckily, I had a neighbor with whom I used to carpool to college. He was in data science. So he showed me the subjects which were mostly related to statistics and handling data. And I was pretty good at math, so the coding was not too heavy. That's how I started off. And I was like, yes, I can do this. And I started off by talking to the data, with what I call is talking to the data. And gradually, the languages, Python, SQL, whichever the major ones in our field, I really enjoyed them.
Okay.
And gradually, I started taking up freelancing projects and internships across different countries in the same field. And luckily, when I came for my master's in Boston, during that time, ChatGPT boomed up. That's when I realized, yes, that was a really fine decision on my side that I switched from cybersecurity to this.
Patting yourself on the back, like, yes.
So since the release of ChatGPT, there's been a lot of innovation in AI. How have you been able to just keep up with it? And do you feel like your education really prepared you for where it is right now?
Okay, so my undergrad education, I would say it was at that time, GPT was not there. So it focused more on traditional machine learning models. That is what AI is for traditional or true data scientists who've been working since that time before GPT came in or generative AI technology came in. Post ChatGPT, things changed a lot. Universities themselves had to start new subjects related to generative AI, and there were actually no experts in this because it's a field that just popped up. So I thought at that moment we're all at the same level. The only way to stay updated is by reading research papers, going through YouTube videos, related to a lot of data science channels. And Medium is a platform where I found pretty good data scientists, like really up to date articles. And I feel that's a subscription you all should go for if you want to stay updated with the latest technology. But at the moment, how the pace at which generative AI and the technology is growing right now, I feel a person single-handedly cannot like complete everything. It's not like one book or two book. Everything is coming up. Every 15 days, we're getting a new model with new benchmarks. So I would say if you're trying to stay updated, stick to one niche. For example, I stuck to text processing. Someone might stick to...
You said text processing?
Text processing, yes. So in ChatGPT, if you have any questions related to textual data, that's text processing. If you give it an image and ask it to do anything related to an image, that's image processing. That's how machine learning is divided according to me, like two major parts, text and images.
Yeah.
So I chose textual data because my custom machine learning algorithm period where I was learning about those, I focus more on natural language processing, which is handling textual data. So yes, to stay updated, just go. LinkedIn is another platform. Start following people who are pretty famous and these kind of startups that are coming up. For example, Y Combinator is a very good platform through which you can find these AI startups in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And a lot of those founders, since they want to showcase their abilities through and they want to put their startup on the map. So they're very active on LinkedIn and they go to a lot of conferences. They meet with a lot of people and they try to write a lot of content so that their AI startup actually boosts up. I don't know if it works out for them or not, but it's a great learning platform for others.
No,
because you don't have to do anything. These founders are helping you research everything. And obviously, it's their 24/7, like 7 days a week job to research about everything. So if you want quick updates about what's happening in the world, the business world, that is a platform as well.
Love that.
And so, as far as the state of AI right now, there's a lot of new models, like you said, coming out every day. But when you were just started, you were learning about traditional machine learning models. Do you think that those models still have strengths that newer models, like generative models, do not really match still?
I feel if you have a business and you want to integrate artificial intelligence for the first time, if you don't already have a data science team, you should stick to traditional machine learning algorithms.
Okay.
Because they were built for specific purpose and they would get you very, very high accuracy and as close as possible to 100% as compared to generative AI. Generative AI at the moment I feel is good for summarization or content creation. But if you're a business who wants to implement AI, the main motive for these businesses are to save costs, save time, and improve efficiency, overall resulting in their increased profit. How can you do that? You can do that by cutting out manual labor. Nowadays, everyone's talking about that AI will take your job. I say that AI will not take your job. Someone who has the skill set of using AI tools will take your job. So if you're using generative AI tools, it covers that part, that you increase your personal efficiency as an employee using generative AI tools. But for traditional models, you build a model for specific problem solving. So for these kind of tasks with redundant, mundane, repetitive tasks, you can use traditional ML models because they're pretty good in training them specifically for this goal, and they would provide a lot of accuracy.
And speaking of using AI tools within specific roles, could you give us some insights into how you specifically use AI in your day-to-day role?
Sure. So my work is very code heavy and building models for a particular custom, like building custom solutions for particular problems. And for that, how I use AI is I use ChatGPT and Claude. They're my go-to every day. For example, my model building process starts from defining the problem, defining the objective, whether I want to increase efficiency in time, space, or profit, or within employees, or cut out some redundant tasks. So all of those things, just to lay out a skeletal architecture of start to end, I use ChatGPT for that because it helps me with my research. I don't have to go on the web, search different type of models. I do have because of my knowledge, I do have some of the models in mind, but I still want to test them out before actually implementing it. So it helps me with my research. Secondly, it helps me with coding as well. So earlier, how engineers used to code was there's this website called Stack Overflow,
Okay.
where whenever you're coding something, you face an issue. You go to Stack Overflow, you'll find it's like Reddit for coders.
Yeah.
You'll find already someone has asked
Had
that
the
problem
issue.
and you would get solutions within code space. So AI has taken over Stack Overflow. I would say it'll remove Stack Overflow or it'll make it redundant eventually, because AI can now go to Stack Overflow, search everything and not just Stack Overflow, the whole of the web, and give me different kind of code solutions if I get stuck somewhere. And it's very helpful in debugging as well. Once I have the model, I want to refine it, or if I'm facing any errors. For example, if I'm facing an error in Python language, then I had to go to the Python documentation and find what the error means and how to solve it, and then relate it to my document. So for all of that, generative AI is pretty cool. So this thing is called vibe coding nowadays.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about
with
vibe
another
coding.
guest, yeah.
Yes, with the
Vibe
other
coding.
guest.
People do it a lot. But vibe coders are, I would say, people who do not have coding knowledge, background knowledge.
It
or
would be like
previous
me
knowledge.
on there.
Yeah, you can go and build a software right now.
Yeah.
So I read this somewhere. Someone built a startup and he built it using vibe coding and it boomed. He was still making profit. But then he made the mistake of posting it on social media that he used ChatGPT to build the complete projects. Within 1 hour, his software went down because it had a lot of attacks. So this is where vibe coders would, I would say, fail, because they wouldn't know how to secure the model.
So as AI continues to develop, I'm sure you're keeping up with what you can. I mean, we're all trying to keep up with what we can, given just how much comes out. What really is exciting you that you're seeing that will specifically have an impact on your role and industry?
In my role, I'm actually very happy about it. I would be a little bit, I would say, super extra confident about this, but I feel safe with my role, thankfully, because I'm in the field AI and it's booming. So as I said, I made a right choice. I realized I made the right choice when ChatGPT was launched, of switching fields. For other people, I would say just start integrating AI as much as possible according to your tasks. So my sister, she is a strategic consultant, and I don't know what she exactly does, but I've seen that her work involves Excel, using Excel sheets a lot. But now she has also realized that she has to start implementing AI within Excel to increase the efficiency. She also feels pretty good about it because Microsoft has integrated Copilot within Excel now. Before this, she started off with using ChatGPT to find solutions for Excel, and now they've integrated it within the app. So all these big players are already integrating it within the app. So you as a human being should obviously integrate and accept AI with the open arms.
So something that you're excited about is just the integrations within like your daily
Yes.
life.
I compare it to using when a typewriter was released. Earlier, you had to write everything down. Then you had a typewriter. Your typing speed increased. So your efficiency increased. In turn, your customers are getting results on like faster basis. So you would acquire more customers and in turn profit would increase. So you think of AI tool as a typewriter or a calculator that's increasing your efficiency.
Love that. What's one thing that you do not foresee AI taking over? Or I guess a better question would be, what are tasks that you think a human will always have to oversee?
Speaking of just AI field, you would always need people who understand AI and tools. Specifically industry specific, I would say in every industry, AI would be integrated. I have friends who are lawyers, and those law firms are hiring AI teams who are building custom models for them. But to build that model, you need to have a person who knows both the law field as well as the AI field of how to build it. Otherwise, how are you going to know the intricacies of the model or the features that you're going to work on? So the one skill that I foresee no one can take AI is how you yourself can build or supervise AI. So supervision of AI is something that does not require you to have the knowledge of how to build AI from scratch. but just to see how it's working, how it's delivering. Because if you're industry specific and you have the industry knowledge, someone like me who does not have any clue about how law works, I cannot just go into that industry and take over their job.
Yep.
I cannot do that.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
So we've covered one of the more interesting aspects of this fast developing field in AI, which is that really the traditional models are still really kind of what a business owner should implement. But I think the problem for a lot of business owners is that they're constantly bombarded with a lot of messaging around like the newest thing is the greatest thing in AI, the latest is the greatest. What are some things that you think all business owners should understand and that you notice many business owners do not understand that well about AI that they should probably know going into implementing AI?
I've seen this with a lot of businesses. They see ChatGPT, a new benchmark of ChatGPT, for example, being released. Recently, that I don't know how to pronounce it, that Ghibli art that came up. Where you just provide an image to ChatGPT and it turns it into I can spell it out, GHIBLI art.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah, it boomed. It became very hyped up. You see that, you feel like, shit, that technology is so good. We need to have that technology within our company. But no, that's the golden egg right there. You don't know how much computation power that requires to reach that level, to reach that benchmark. You can just pick it up and put it in your garage or, for example, your company's garage and just implement it. No, you cannot do that. So it's like picking up a Ferrari engine and putting it in your bicycle. You cannot do that. It won't run.
That's a great example. Yes.
So I would say if you want to start off with traditional machine learning algorithms because they've been around for more than a decade now. And companies have been implementing it for more than, I would say, at least 5 years. I think even before 2015, people were implementing it and getting cost cutting and time cutting through those. So start off with that. And another thing, what a lot of business owners don't understand is you have to give time and effort to build that model. It's not like you'll give all of your data to it and the model will start giving out perfect results. It's not like ChatGPT where you just send it some documents and just start asking questions about it.
What would be a good range? And I know it depends on what you're building, but like, what would that range of time look like?
So the complete process, the most time consuming part is to get the exact clean data for your model.
Okay.
For that, you have to go into different departments, different data centers within your company, extract relevant data from there. Once you have all of the data sources, you have to clean that data. You have to make it in a certain format that the model would accept. That takes up, I would say, 70% of your building process.
Okay.
The rest, 10%, 20% is building the model, choosing which models, and you don't just build one model, you choose different 2-3 types of models, and then you test and validate each model, and then across the set, you validate and test them, and then you pick out the best one.
Okay.
So the training part, that does not require a lot of time. That I think if you have pretty good GPUs, that can even be done in like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But you have to keep retraining it. As data scientists, you have to keep retraining it. You have to adjust a lot of parameters within it to see which one gives out the best accuracy. So that takes up 20% of the time. Remaining 10% is just testing, validation, and implementing it within your company. Because once we have that model, implementing it within your system also takes time. But nowadays, a lot of companies are working on cloud technologies. So it has become very easier for us to package and ship a machine learning model as compared to if you have to like fix it in your physical components or something like that. So the data extraction and cleaning process, that is the most time consuming. Business owners, if they're thinking of building AI models or getting into the AI space, they should definitely keep this in mind that this process is the most irritating part for someone who's not building it. For someone who is building it, yeah, it's even more than irritating. I don't know what's the next level for it. But once you get through that, you'll receive a very beautiful model that you can just implement and start using. So don't just look at the golden egg and think you can keep it and within your company and inject it. You cannot do that.
You're starting with a bicycle and you want the Ferrari. Oh, I love that. I love that. When you mention AI is not going anywhere, I
Mhm.
don't think cybersecurity is going anywhere either.
In fact, cybersecurity field has more options now because they have to look at AI security as well now.
Oh, that's a whole separate
That's
entity.
a whole separate entity, yes.
Really?
And it's an upcoming entity. There's no like new laws are coming up, new regulations are coming up. People are like testing these AI models.
Okay.
So new leakages are coming up.
Oh my God.
So that increases job in cybersecurity sector with AI focused a stream as well.
Wow. Okay. I didn't have goosebumps before now, but now I do. That's something to think about. Well, tell us a little bit about, you mentioned, I almost said Substack, but tech stack, right? That you used to go and get coding bugs sorted out.
Stack Overflow. Yeah.
Sorry, Stack Overflow. What are some, and then you also mentioned LinkedIn. Are there any publications or any type of blogs or industry leaders that you specifically follow each week that you'd recommend following?
Okay. So I have a wide range of, I don't see one channel as my all go-to
I
channel
love that.
because AI is such a field where every industry is booming with new technology. And if someone says they're an expert in AI, they're lying.
Yeah.
You cannot be an expert in AI at this moment. I don't think even in the future because it's being
changes.
implemented in every industry. So you choose people from specific industries. I try to follow CEOs a lot of
Okay.
big AI companies and even chip manufacturers like Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang. They come up with a lot of computational like knowledge that you would require, for example, computational power related. Those kind of knowledge you'll get from that. For AI specific knowledge, try to follow CEOs of OpenAI
Okay.
and a lot of other big company CEOs, for example, Google, Meta, because these guys are fighting amongst themselves to reach the pinnacle, the apex.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep posting new updates, and through those pages themselves, you'll find a lot of other resources.
Okay.
And right now, these CEOs, I think most of their time goes in public conferences, public seminars, where they have to go and talk about AI, even podcasts. So through those, you would find different technologies, not just their company specific. They talk about their opponents as well or something that has come up. And just whenever you pick those keywords, you find something new within what they have said.
Yeah.
If a person like Sam Altman is pointing out to a technology, I make sure that I go find that technology, who made it, how it came into existence, if I find it like cool
Yeah,
enough or
sure.
relevant enough for my field. That is how I navigate through it. But I recently downloaded Medium app. I
love Medium. Yeah.
I love it now. I used to go to their website and then do it, but then I thought that I'll just make it a habit. For example, scrolling reels on Instagram, scroll articles on Medium. If you're new to AI, just search the famous hashtags, data science, AI, or famous CEOs' names, and you'll get a lot of articles on those. And there's nothing like good or bad right now. Everyone's coming up with news, which is if it's in a particular sector, it's the same across all articles.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like you're like, okay, go to Sam Altman, read his post, and then get curious about the
Yes.
companies he's highlighting
Mhm.
and dive in. And I love that you mentioned chip manufacturers. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that. That's incredible.
Because that's a different industry in itself, which is booming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Talk about keeping up with that too. Well, we could talk all day, obviously, about AI. Knowing that our audience is mostly business owners, C-suite execs, what words of wisdom would you give them around AI? What would you leave them with today?
If they want to enter AI, if they're planning to enter AI,
They're just trying to use AI on their own. How's that? Yes. But they're going to have to implement it one day.
I would say just get into the door. I've seen a lot of people being skeptical about security issues, confidentiality issues. Those issues are going to be there. Those issues have been there with previous technologies that have come up as well. But AI is a boat that you have to be on. Otherwise, your competitors who start right now and you're starting after 2 months, the person who has started right now will be, I would say, at least 10 years ahead of you. So if you want to keep your profits up, stop worrying about it. Start using AI. Start teaching your employees how to use AI. Securely use AI. I've seen some companies who try to block employees, but who's stopping an employee going to ChatGPT from his personal mobile, clicking a picture of your data and asking questions. Might as well teach them how to use AI efficiently and with more ethical knowledge so that the efficiency within the company increases. This is the first step. Teach your employees, motivate them to use AI. And you yourself have to do that as well. You have to be the forefront, the leader to lead it. And once you're into this, then move on to the second step of implementing AI. For that, go with traditional models. If you're super skeptical of generative AI, just go with traditional models.
Traditional.
They don't have leakages.
I love that. Oh, I love that. They don't have leakages. Okay, so get in the boat or else you're going to sink.
Yes.
Right? And everybody who's in the boat is going to be moving off.
You're not going to sink. You'll be there, but you'll be stuck on an island where the boat's just going to a bigger country.
And you're going to be replaced by someone that's on the boat.
Yes.
Well, Ataish, this has been amazing. Thank you. If our audience wants to get in touch with you, how do they find you?
On LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go by my name, Ataish Nehra.
And we will put that in the show notes.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
It was really
so
fun.
much. Pleasure. Thank you for listening to Go AI. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and review our podcast so we can continue to grow and offer more great AI content. If you're looking for digital marketing, digital transformation, or AI help, make sure you visit www.guardianowdigital.com. Have questions? Email team@guardianowdigital.com for answers. See you next time on Go AI.